We
Hello.
are
Hello.
live.
Are we on?
What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Welcome to Loaded Magickzines. I am Slim Monster. Colton Adams really is what my name is, but I'll go by that. And then joined with me is AstralWorkshop, Rob Carter, the Foco Shinobi, presiding right now currently in Gainesville, aka Josh Jones. And
Hello.
we are here. Hello.
Hello.
Our this week's episode is our favorite mysteries. I hit them all up like midweek, and I was like, let's do this one, and they were all down, and we all got some really good content. I'm really looking forward to like fucking showing y'all what we fucking found. But how was y'all week? How was your guys' week?
It was good.
It was
real good.
yeah. It was long. Good Memorial Day though. I had to work. I got home and I was like, dude, hell yeah! I took a fat nap. Like it was nice.
I drank tequila.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Lucky.
And beer.
Nice,
I don't like
dude.
to drink. I don't like to drink tequila by myself, and I'm pretty much out here in Florida. I'll just fucking drink beer by myself. And that's okay. But like tequila, I have to be drinking with other people for sure.
Well, I get that. I definitely like to do tequila with people as well.
Well, beer goes with everything, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the third most popular beverage in the world after water and tea.
Huh. I believe
That
that.
makes
Go
sense.
figure.
You know, beer brewing is like the third oldest profession. It's like prostitution was the first one, and then I think like was it the people that make clothes is the second, and then beer brewing is the third, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah. I read this article a while back. They unearthed this ancient beer brewery in fucking Egypt, and it was like
Yeah.
I want to say it was like over 2,000 years old, like an over 2,000-year-old beer brewery.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
yeah.
Fucking sick.
I heard like they discovered beer by like they pretty much left grains out in the weather, in the elements basically, and it rained, and basically like all the grains spilled out into some sort of container, and they just left it there and fermented by itself.
And
they
somebody was
drank
fucking
it
bold
all
enough
that.
to fucking try it, dude.
Yeah,
Right?
no, they let it ferment, and they're like, okay, let's
They're
try
like,
this
drink
shit
that
out.
shit. He's like, no, you fucking
Yeah,
drink it.
yeah. She's like, I dare you.
Man, that shit stinks. It's got to be so good.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, let's get back on task here. Good. My weekend's good. I just scheduled a tattoo. It's pretty dope. Pretty excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Rob are gonna get some tattoo work done. All right. Speaking of Rob, though, let's just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and tell me a little. Let's hear about your fucking favorite mystery, dog.
Okay, so it's Otzi. Otzi is his name. Sometimes people call him the Ice Man. And he was discovered in 1991 by two hikers right up by the North Italian and the Southern Austrian border in the North Italian Alps. And I thought it was pretty dope because, like, when I first found out about him, I may have been tattooing, like, I don't even think I was tattooing a year. And what it was is they dig this dude out of the ice, and they're saying he lived like in 3300 BC. So that's a fucking long time ago, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And his skin is like preserved, right?
Mhm.
And I want to say 3300 BC, like that's like when they were coming out with like cruciform like tablets and shit, like in the city of Ur in like Mesopotamia. I mean, we're talking like a long time ago. And he's got all these tattoos like all over his body. Not like a bodysuit per se, but like he'll have like little lines and like plus signs, and all these little tattoos, they run they're like contextual to the sciatic nerve system. They found this out when they locate all the tattoos, and then they figured out like his system, like his body's like his sciatic nerve system, and all these tattoos run at certain anchor points on the sciatic nerve system. So there's like a lot of question, like even back then, like did they know, was he suffering ailments at these certain points, like in a knee joint or an ankle or a wrist or his back, you know what I mean? And like, so there's some theory going on that it's like the pigment that's actually in there is pushing on that nerve group that's part of that sciatic nerve group, almost like it's acupuncture.
That's crazy.
And so the question is like, was that pigment actually gaining him relief? And is that why they kept tattooing themselves at these certain places on their bodies? That's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, that is pretty nuts, especially from your background as a tattoo artist.
Huh?
I said, especially from your background as a tattoo artist, like I can see how that's really interesting to you. That is pretty freaking crazy to me.
Yeah, dude. Because it becomes like a medicinal thing. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just like tattoos for art, but they're actually like physically doing something, and that's kind of interesting
like
too.
Medicinal.
Like, huh? What's up?
Like medicinal
yeah,
tattoos.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like physical therapy kind of, and so it's like for me, it kind of begs the question of like when I do tattoos on people now, or I've had, you know, I got tattoos on me. What are they doing? Like, are they pushing on these sciatic nerve groups? Mm-hmm. Like, are they offering relief? Or are they doing other like physical type things? You know, that's pretty dope.
That's so dope.
Yeah, man, that's the trip.
Like the time we were talking before, how like it's almost that exchange of energy. That
right.
Like when, you know, like you're tattooing somebody, you know, you're working with their breathing and their movements, that could be like some subconscious thing that you've just done to help pack the ink in for like such nerves or something. Do you know what I mean?
It's kind of interesting because you start getting into the realm of like Reiki healing, you know, and like so you have like this exchange of energy between the tattooee and the tattooer. You know, and so you actually have like that physical pigment, and you have the exchange of blood and the energy like that, and then you start getting into like this magico, like cultural thing of, well, blood is like the currency of the gods, you know, and like, is there like this magical sort of cultural thing that Otzi, you know, and his people had when they placed these tattoos at these sciatic nerve centers, you know, like you get this whole like science and metaphysics, you know, being meshed together.
Absolutely. It's probably like some sort of old
really
tattoo medicine.
Yeah, exactly. It's tattoo medicine. That's a good way to put it, dude. That's a really good way to put it.
What'd you say his name was? Otzi?
Otzi. Yeah, it's O with like two dots on, like over the O, T, Z, and then I.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I wonder what his actual name was, you know?
Right?
That's so crazy. It's crazy, like stuff like that is like lost in time, you know?
Yeah.
It's wild to think too that like he was preserved as well as any Egyptian mummy, but he was in the night.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the fool's tattoos. Shit.
Right?
Right.
I mean, fuck, dude. Like that's pretty. I mean, nothing's permanent, right? But like that's pretty fucking permanent.
Yeah.
Like that's like what? Almost 4,000 years. No, that's over 4,000 years ago. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That blows my mind. That's so crazy.
Did you pick this because you are in the tattoo field? Did you or like what made this be one of the most interesting ones for you?
For me, I chose it as a topic, you know, like since this was like our first like, you know, go at topics and whatnot. I thought that it would be a good one to go with because like I've tattooed for 18 years now, and that one's always kind of resonated with me. You know, like I've always been drawn to tattoos personally. Like my grandfather, he had a really good friend from back in World War II who used to come around, and he had tattoos on his forearms. His name was Gil, and I was like 6 years old, and I remember seeing these, and I'm just like, I love drawing.
Yeah.
He has drawings on his arms. Like that's fucking tight, you know? Like I want to be a part of that, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, so cool. You know, there's like, you know, people question like, well, how long have tattoos been around, or what cultures have had tattoos? And it's easy to like,
I feel like almost every culture has had a tattoo, you know? It has
every
tattoos.
single one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every single one. And like, it's easy for me to like default to like the ancient Egyptians, but then you got Otzi, who's just as old as the fucking ancient Egyptians, just hiking his way across the Northern Alps in fucking prehistoric Europe, you know,
Right.
with tattoos on him,
Right.
you know, and not just tattoos. Like we're not talking like they're just replicating designs of things they've seen in the environment. Like he actually has tattoos that are scientifically doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I find so fascinating is like
then.
I find it pretty interesting that like the scientific possibility that the ink and the pressure of tattoo could lead to a medicinal thing is absolutely fascinating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if that could be a possibility, like there's a mystery within itself of like a new way of healing.
Right. And it's like where did that knowledge come from? You know, like how did they know? You know, it's like, so then you start getting into like the realm of like ancient technology and like ancient knowledge, and are we just replicating things that have already existed? You know what I mean?
Like nothing's new.
Nothing's new, exactly. Like we're just kind of like rebooting it. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, that's the kind of shit that really just like I love good stories. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love just like anything that just could possibly break the mold of what we take as, you know, how things actually are.
And the possibility of Otzi's like story and the continuous like things that you probably drum up in your head of like what his story is like part of the fun too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's fun to think about like the method of application of the actual tattoos themselves. It's like, was it just, you know, a sharp needle that they're poking in? Like, how'd they get the needle? You know, like how did they refine that metal? How did they, you know, stuff like that? Because that has to do with so much of the story as well, you know, because like they're probably well versed in, you know, the method and how that whole sequence like played out is what's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Well, my thought would be is that like that would have been what, the Copper Age. So like I would tend to think that like they would probably have used like a thorn, or because like the lemon tree is a good example of I'm trying to think of what that lady's name is. She's in the Philippines and she's old as fuck. She's like 111 years old.
Oh, and she smacks that shit when it like smacks it on you?
No, she has a lemon tree in her backyard. She's like deep in the mountains in the Philippines. She used to tattoo headhunters like back in the early 20th century. And she has this lemon tree and she'll pick these thorns off the branches, and then she makes her own pigment. And then like she tattoos with that, like just the thorn. She just like presses it in with her hand. She has a technique. And like tourists have gone up there now, and like she doesn't tattoo everyone. She's like, you have to be like worthy, you know, in her eyes. And fortunately she has an apprentice in a shop in Manila. She's like in her 20s, who's like gonna be taught that tradition. But it's like cool. How fucking long has that tradition been going on? Like, how far back does that go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
Because if she didn't have anyone to teach that to, that's it. That's done. It's like that branch of tattooing or that branch of that culture is gone forever.
Like burnt text, gone. Yeah.
And so now we come around full circle back to Otzi. You know, back 3,300 BC was that 4,500 years ago or so, more than that. And like, we're like this branch of culture was gone forever. And now we have it again. We found it in the fucking ice. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely.
That's a trip.
Yeah, that is a trip. That's so, what a great topic.
Right? I think we got, let's play some video games, y'all. What do y'all
think?
Let's play some fucking video games. All right, let's get up into it.
That was great.
Yeah, that was a great topic. We'll jump back with some other topics after a round.